When many people think of Japan railways from outside of Japan, you often think of the Shinkansen, a series of high-speed bullet trains linking the key centers and cities of Japan. Whilst iconic and influential and creating a fantastic image for the Japanese rail system, no one really talks about the backbone of the Japanese railways, the commuter and regional lines across the country. So why don't you join me on a local service on the Nara Line from the historic city of Kyoto to the deer-loving city of Nara, and understanding the true local trains of Japan from woman-only coaches to potential transphobia? Find out more right now. And with that, I say konnichiwa, or good morning, and welcome to Kyoto bus station. As I've just gotten off my bus, I'm going to use the underpass to get to Kyoto railway station. The reason for this is because the underpass and Kyoto railway station are directly tied in with the Porta Mall, which has many options for buying food, clothes, and even lunch if you're getting on a long distance train. But it seems quite a few shops in the underpass tend to be closed on a weekend, so bear that in mind if you want to buy something, or just use the shops on the surface as they're almost open every day. Anyway, we exit the underpass and go up the main escalators, because too lazy for stairs, into the main station concourse. We entered it from the north side of the station, which is tied in with the Porta Mall on the left over there, and is what is considered the main station entrance. There is a south entrance as well, but that's often used by Shinkansen passengers, and today we are not Shinkansen passengers. Anyway, despite the large number of shops, I think it's time to head to our platform. Since our train is operated by JR West, we can easily just tap on with a Suica card and get on board. But that might have been a bad choice. We'll explain why in a minute, just bear with me. Our service today is a 1037 Miyakoji Rapid service to Nara, and it departs from platform 10. All trains bound for Nara will depart anywhere between platform 8 to platform 10 on the Nara line. And here's our train for today. A Japan Railways 221 series. This unit was constructed somewhere between 1989 and 1992. It had a refurbishment somewhere around 2015 and is part of the Amaniti linear family of trains. As I wander down its 6 coaches, I walk on board and find a seat, and then I realize my problem. Seats on this train can be reserved, and I didn't realize that before getting on board, if I'm being honest. So I'm gonna have to use a flip down seat for the time being and pull up the blind by the doors. Oh well, it's fine. Get to view some more trains in Kyoto before we leave. As the train fills up and the doors eventually close, I'm pleased to say we depart Kyoto bang on time at 10:37. Anyway, the first train to run between Kyoto and Nara started service in 1896 by the Nara Railway. Today, it's operated by JR West under the Nara Line brand. Well, at least this particular service. Now then, to my immediate surprise, we end up passing through a station which I was expecting to stop at. Inari. Inari is the station you can get off at for the 1000 gates in Kyoto. I couldn't walk the whole thing, but definitely worth trying if you have a chance to visit it. Also worth mentioning, there are a grand total of 6 trains departing Kyoto for the Nara direction, but only 4 of them head all the way to Nara. 2 locals and 2 rapids. The other 4 services only go as far as Joyo, which is around halfway from Nara, and they tend to use the 103 series instead. A smaller, more high-capacity metro-style train as opposed to the one we're on. We are now approaching the area of Rokujizu. Change here for the Toisei line. Forgive me if I pronounce that wrong. And I think it's time to start talking about the elephant in the room. Now, to provide some context first. As we all know, or hopefully know, the people of Japan in general are really nice. But unfortunately, we always have some bad apples out there. In other words, sexual harassment. And trains are unfortunately a big target for sexual harassment because you can be stuck in a carriage for a very long time between certain stations in certain services. Statistics show that 50% of women passengers on the Japan rail system will end up being sexually harassed at least once in their lifetime. And what's even worse, unfortunately 80% of them don't even bother reporting it because they know they're never going to find the culprit, which is really sad if you ask me. The Japan rail companies and the Japanese government have been finding ways to tackle these problems, like installing more CCTV, adding posters and information as well as ads on encouraging people to report when harassment happens, and even taking inspiration from other countries, like from India when they introduced the women-only coaches. So I'm positive with time it'll eventually get better. But then I ended up asking the train guard a question that I don't think I should have asked, but it was probably worth asking at the end of the day. Buckle your seatbelts, cause this can get rough. I asked them, what happens if a trans woman ends up boarding the woman-only coach? And instantly, without any hesitation, he said we'll kick him off. To provide context for this one, being transgender or even in a homosexual relationship may not be illegal, but in some cases it's not recognized and looked down upon. And here's what the train guard said, no, this is not word for word. In the past, men have listed themselves as trans women and boarded the woman-only coach just to harass women, so it's much safer to not have the option and just make sure everyone who's currently their biological sex remains safe. We can make sure that women and men and children alike can remain safe, and that we also make sure that the quality of our service improves every year. Yeah, I have mixed opinions on this. Whilst I understand on one hand where you're keeping one group safe, which is women, but you're also completely disrespecting and disregarding the other group, which is the LGBTQ+ community. I would hope that we can just have equal and safe sites for everyone, but I guess there is a sacrifice somewhere, but I don't think this is the right sacrifice we should be taking. Anyway, we're now pulling into our next station, and I'm gonna move on before I get too controversial. I do apologize if I sounded rude or offended anyone just there. That was never my intention. I was just trying to explain what I've been told and what I found out. Also, let me know your opinions in the comments about this. I'd like another perspective if possible. Now, since that's over, we now just stopped at Uji and now we're leaving again. Home to the Uji River, some more historical landmarks, as well as a city famous for green tea. A large portion of passengers ended up disembarking here, meaning that we could finally get a seat on the proper seats. Next time I'll remember to reserve a seat. They're very well padded and well ergonomically designed, but I already had a rest, so let's get back to filming. We are now approaching Joyo, where some of the services from Kyoto tend to terminate here. It's worth pointing out now, the full length of the Nara Line is roughly 34.7 kilometers or 21.6 miles long, and the max speed on the line is either 110 kilometers an hour or 68 miles an hour. Arriving into Tamamizu, it's worth pointing out this journey can take anywhere between 45 to 1 hour and 10 minutes to complete it one way. We've now arrived into Kizu, one of the more bigger stations on the network, and where you can also change for some other train lines on the same platforms to different destinations. Also, this is the point where some drivers book on and book off for their daytime services. And with that, I welcome everyone to Nara, one of the most fascinating cities in the world if you ask me. Anyway, I'm gonna head down to the station concourse and get something from the vending machine. Courtesy the generous donation of my father, and that's my brother stealing my drink. Anyway, as I tap out with my Suica card, I'm pleased to say that this is the cheapest way, by rail at least, that you can get between Kyoto and Nara, as this journey just cost me 720 yen. And for what you get and how far you're traveling, I think it's pretty good value for money. And if anyone wants to buy a reservation, it will cost a little extra, but not by that much, by like 100-200 yen at best, I think. Anyway, I'm gonna go and get a bus into town now, and hopefully not get caught in any of the election campaigns, because we're traveling during the Japanese election, smart idea, and feed some deer. I thank each and every one of you for watching this video. Please consider liking and subscribing if you wish to see more, and do comment, give me your opinions on this new style of video, whether you wish to see more of it or you want me to go back to more of my original style of videoing. And also, more Japanese content coming soon as well. And I apologize if I offended anyone somewhere around here or here when talking about some of the things I found out. I do thank you all for sticking around, and see you all next time. Take care everyone, bye bye, see you soon.